Hey, sis. Welcome to Healing, Hustle, and Home, the podcast for moms who are balancing it all: motherhood, ambition, and peace. I'm Ashley Springs, educator, mentor, sports mom, and your glow up bestie. Around here, we keep it real about the struggles and the strategies because you deserve to heal, hustle, and still have a home that feels good. You can hang out with me on Instagram or TikTok at Busy Balance Paid Mom, and I'll link everything in the show notes. Okay, if you're ready for short, powerful episodes you can listen to while folding your laundry, waiting anywhere for those kids again, or just on your way to work, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Now, let me keep it real with you. Hold up. Before all that, I got to pause to give a huge shout out because this show wouldn't sound the same without the music created by my son and my favorite producer, Rejon, aka Two Tone. You can find more of his work at www.beatstars.com/prod by TW0TONE. I'll post a link in the show notes. Okay, sis. Do you ever feel like your to do list is a mountain and you're climbing it barefoot? I've been there. Days when just getting out of bed felt like I was lifting weights. I've sat in my car crying because the weight of being a mom and provider and dreamer felt impossible. But here's what I've learned: you don't have to carry it all. And in fact, trying to do that is what keeps us stuck, burned out, and bitter. There was a season when I was teaching full time, going through a very rough season in my marriage, and running kids to football, basketball, and band events. Now, my days started before the sunrise and ended way past midnight. They were way too long, y'all. One night, I remember sitting on my living room floor, surrounded by laundry, bills, school papers. One son was asking me for help with his homework. Another one needed rides from practice. Somebody needed money for something that I can't even remember. All I know is I just felt paralyzed. It was like my body was there, but I just couldn't respond. I couldn't think. I couldn't move. I was just there. And that was that moment right then that I realized that I was carrying too much. And I had to speak that to myself. Ashley, you're carrying too much. And yes, I was a very strong, independent woman. How does the song go? Independent. Do you know what that means? Yes, I had my own house. I had my own car. Two jobs, worked hard. So much so, no one hardly ever checks on me. However, y'all, no one person was meant to carry this kind of weight alone. And here's the truth: when we keep piling things on, our bodies eventually force us to stop. I've had migraines that knock me down for days. I've forgotten entire deadlines. I've snapped at my kids over small things because I was carrying stress I hadn't even named. I could keep going, but you get it. And you're probably shaking your head right now. because you know exactly what I'm talking about. Sis, that moment sitting on the floor wasn't about the laundry. It wasn't about the bills. It wasn't about anyone else. It was about me. It was about me refusing to admit I was drowning because the stress was real. But yet, we avoid it. And we keep going, doing more harm than good by denying it. And let me talk about how we do ourselves more harm than good a little bit more. I'm about to go deep. One big way is by never saying anything, y'all. By never asking for help because we're prideful, because we're independent, because we're afraid of what people might say or think about us. I had to realize that I was going to need help sometimes, no matter how strong I was. I can clearly recall when I finally had to break down and ask my neighbor, who was not a family member, by the way, to help me out with my daughter for carpool. The time when I had to ask a church member to take care of my little son because I couldn't afford to send him to a childcare center full time. Those were very difficult times for me because I never had to do that before. I was used to doing everything on my own, or maybe asking a family member, or not even asking a family member. Used to a family member always being there for me or nearby. But I didn't have that anymore. But guess what? That neighbor said yes. That church member, they said yes. And they relieved a lot of stress that had been tormenting me, all because I asked. And they didn't make me feel bad either. They were waiting for me to ask for help. They were ready and available. We have to recognize when it's too much. Moms aren't superhuman, even though the world acts like we should be. We're not. Does any of this sound familiar? Have you ever had that moment where someone asks you a simple question and you just explode? Have you? Or have you been on the receiving end? Have you asked someone a simple question and they just exploded on you? And you're like, dang, what's wrong with them? Okay. Because it's really not about them or the simple question. It's about the weight that you've been carrying. That's why you explode. And that's why you secretly tell yourself later, dang, I really overreacted. But you know what? Some of us won't even go back and apologize later. Okay, I'm going a little bit too deep right now. I'm stepping on some toes. What we'll do is we'll tell ourselves we'll be fine, that we'll push through. But here's the reality: the weight will either break you down slowly, or you can choose to set some of it down before it does. And that's not weakness, that's wisdom. The world tells moms that we're supposed to be superhuman. We're supposed to work full time, raise perfect kids. I don't know how we're supposed to do that. Keep a spotless house. Now, that's something I really had to get over. Start a side hustle. Remember, I just said we were supposed to work full time, raise perfect kids, keep a spotless house, start a side hustle, stay healthy, show up at every event. Here's the best one, and still smile while we do it. But even superwomen need rest. Even superwomen need help. Carrying less doesn't mean you're lazy. It means you're focused. Think about it like this. Have you ever carried grocery bags and try to grab every single bag in one trip? I feel silly always every time I try to do this because at first, right, you feel proud because you grab everything at the same time and you only have to go in one trip. But by the time you get to the door, right, the bags are cutting into your hands. Your bread is smashed. And if you're like me, those bananas have a few spots on them, and then I'm mad with myself. And something probably gets broken by the time you get everything into the house. And then you have to try to sit all of that stuff down on the counter. Wow. Okay, you get the point. But that's exactly how we live our lives as moms, trying to carry it all in one trip. And it's breaking us. We've got to stop. So here are some ways to lighten the load when life feels too heavy, mama. Well, first of all, ask for help. I used to think that asking for help made me look weak. But sis, when I finally started letting my kids do chores, partnered with another mom for practice pickups and drop-offs on my heavy days, or asked a coworker to cover me for a few minutes, it didn't make me less of a mom or less of a boss, boo. It made me human. So yes, boo, ask your partner, your kids, your family, and friends. You will be surprised who is willing to step in to help you. Here's a good one. Say no. Every yes you give to something that you don't want to is a no to yourself. Start small. Protect your time and your sanity. Say no to volunteering this week. Say no to that meaningless phone call to gossip that disturbs your peace. Here's a good one. Say no to that family member. Say no to that extra side job. Protect your energy. Write things down. I don't know why we think we can carry everything in our mind. And we'll tell people too, oh, I'll remember. No, you won't. No, we won't. Carrying everything in your head is exhausting. Use a planner. Now, some people laugh at me because I have a planner that I will take with me everywhere and I will keep it on my phone and a reminder on my calendar. Yes, I do it all. Because I told y'all earlier, I have been known to forget a deadline, and it was because I was burned out. I was doing too much. So now I get it out of my brain. Use a planner, your phone, even sticky notes, whatever you have to do. Once it's written, your brain can stop holding it like 1,000 open tabs. You're not a computer. You're a human. Your brain can stop holding it like a phone overloaded with apps. Even when your phone is overloaded with apps, it gets overheated. It freezes. It shuts down. The same thing happens with you. I created a comprehensive planner for busy moms. It's called the My Hustle and Flow Planner. It's the Balance Everything Planner for moms. That is perfect for this, for you. And I will leave the link for you in the show notes because you need it, boo. I needed it. Another strategy is release the emotions. We're human. Cry in the shower if you need to. Journal your frustrations. Pray a lot. Meditate. Or talk to a therapist. And girl, it's okay to vent to a trusted friend. But don't just be out there venting and talking to everybody. And that's all I'll say about that. I've had the best breakthroughs when I finally admitted this is too much. Instead of pretending I had it all under control. Your body needs a release before it shuts you down. Simplify your routines too, mama. Instead of overcomplicating dinner, don't do that to yourself. Pick 3 go-to meals that work every week, especially on your busy nights. Instead of trying to deep clean, pick one room to reset. Lightening the load isn't about giving up. It's about making space for you. And remember this, you don't have to prove your strength by carrying everything alone, by running yourself into the ground while everybody else has their feet propped up. True strength is knowing when to put something down. It's knowing what to hold on to and what to let go of. Carrying less doesn't mean doing less. It means focusing on what matters most. So if you're listening right now and your chest feels heavy because I just described your life, this is your permission to put something down and let someone else pick it up. It's your permission to breathe again. And the best part is, when you choose to carry less, you'll notice the people around you, they benefit too. Your kids get a calmer mom. Your work gets a sharper you. And you finally get a piece of peace. Yes. And that is exactly why I created the Reset and Rise Bundle, Mama. It's not about adding more to your plate. It's about carrying less. It helps you sort through chaos, focus on what matters, and rise with clarity. You'll find the link to the bundle in the show notes. And listen, you don't have to walk this journey alone. Join me and other moms on Instagram at Busy Balanced Paid Mom. We're growing a glow up community where we celebrate balance, healing, and wins, big or small. And I'll leave you with that. So thanks for hanging out with me on Healing, Hustle, and Home. I'm Ashley Springs, your Glow Up bestie.